The question on the floor is, what's the significance of wearing a turban and all of that outside? Um, the turban or any type of headgear which represents your national origin or identity helps keep you segmented or part of different aspects of society that people that look like us are usually excluded from, due to the fact that we're seen to be or represent those who don't have an identity or not supposed to. So the turban itself identifies you as being a part of one of the ancient cultures that, you know, had a predisposition to honor the non-physical world as much as they did the physical. So it basically is like a way for you to identify yourself outside of the modern timeline. Most people wouldn't see it like that, but that's essentially what it is. It puts you back into an ancient correspondence because, like, when the last time you ever see somebody in a turban do a drive-by? Think about it. When the last time you seen somebody in the feds do a stick-up or a crime or bank robbery or anything like that? Maybe that happens in India where turbans are common, but here in America, you've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've never seen it. So it shows you that there's a certain degree, there's a certain vibration that that type of energy dictates, or at least emits, that challenges the modern mores that keep so-called black people locked up in identity politics. It automatically takes you outside of that, because most people are wondering, you know, what are you? Are you a Muslim? Are you, right? But you may be none of those things. You know what I'm saying? The other question on the floor is, what's up with the Civil War in Texas? So that looks like it's going to turn into a cluster fuck situation. It's basically a push and pull situation. Biden, or I should say the regime or the people controlling that person or that thing that they call Biden, or let's call him Dark Brandon. The people that's controlling Dark Brandon, they not they're trying to push everything into a civil war so that way it could also be on time with the movie, so they could sell it even more to the mass populace. That is something that they really want, that they want to do. But essentially what's really happening is this guy is fighting to keep the country open to bring more and more terrorists into the country. That's what he's there to do, because he was hired by China. Him and his son was hired by China through the dealings that they was doing through the Wuhan shit and all that, Ukraine, to destroy the country. So he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's there to destroy the country, and he has enough mouthpieces and scared niggas around him that he'll never have to, you know, really deal with the repercussions of it, most likely. So he's gonna push for that, but it's not gonna happen the way he wants. The other thing too is that the the nonprofit organizations are being subsidized by the so-called Biden administration to act as middlemen between them and the cartels. So that way, all the children that's coming up, they can sell them easily, so they can stop using Wayfair and Amazon and all that type of shit to allegedly to be able to traffic these children through. You know what I'm saying? It's getting too hectic for them to do that. Through the internet like that right now. So they gotta find different ways to, you know, keep the to keep the pipeline flowing. So this is a good way for them to be able to continue that, as well as all of the nonprofit agencies that get all of the money for all of the children that they're selling, you know, in these processes. So, you know, we should definitely, you know, do the knowledge to that, because again, he's running the biggest human trafficking operation since the transatlantic slave trade, and everybody's down with it. and everybody's okay with him doing it. Nobody is trying to stop him from doing it. So that means they all down with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. So those people that don't think that human trafficking and stuff like that is bad, those are the people who will be labeled as terrorists or whatever else, because we're living in an inverted, we're part of a satanic regime. Well, not we're part of it, but a satanic regime is basically trying to really, this is its last chance to really establish itself the way it really, really want to, because they know it's over. So this is the way that they want to do it, the hill they're going to die on. So he would rather go to war with United States within the states to keep the human trafficking and all of that going till they get enough of the foreign soldiers in here through this program, so that way they can activate them when the time is right. But it ain't gonna go the way that they want. I'm telling you, it's as great as a plan that them niggas think it's really not gonna work like that. It's not gonna be that simple. Like, it's too many variables. One, there are more guns in America than there are Americans. You understand what I'm saying? Number two, most of the nuclear joints, a lot of the nuclear shit is right in Texas. So it ain't gonna go the way that they want. Michelle Obama, what's thoughts on Michelle Obama as U.S. court president? It's a good pipe dream. It's a good fever dream, but it's not gonna happen. Nobody likes Michelle like that. The only people that like Michelle like that are black boule females. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else fuck with Michelle Obama like that. They don't like with Obamas like that. They think they do, and the Obamas think they do because they be around a bunch of Hollywood niggas. But Hollywood niggas don't even be fucking with them like that. They don't rock with them like that. They don't like them like that. The only people that think Obama and them is dope are the Obamas. That's it. Nobody is really chilling with. When the last time you seen Obama chilling with Denzel and all that? It was cool when he was president, but niggas don't really fuck with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, only white people think that black people still like that nigga. Unless he giving out new phones or some sort of fake stimmy or something like that. People don't give a damn about that nigga. Cause he ain't never do nothing for nobody. Except gay people, Jewish people, and communists. That's it. That's it. That's the only people he look out for. Communists and maybe some rappers. He ain't pardon no rappers when he came out. Trump pardoned all the rappers. What you talking about? And again, I'm not saying that he's even that much better. What I'm saying that out of everybody, he's the best of the worst. If you're in that political strata like that, like if you really caught up in what's happening with that, then yeah, he's gonna be your last hope. You know what I'm saying? Because everything they do against this nigga don't work. Like you would think they would realize that by now. Every trap they try to put in or around this nigga, for something happened and it backfire on them horribly. And then what happens? Then he's out it. Then they look, Fanny about to be indicted. They're about to indict Fanny. Like, it's over. Yeah, it's a psyop. Mark said sounds like a mass advertising psyop to promote the Civil War. The movie, that's what I'm saying. And the movie, this premise is ridiculous. California would never ally itself with Texas. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you was like, okay, the war is coming from New York and California working together, or California and like Oregon, okay, it's enough hippie commies up there. You know what I'm saying? Where you could plausibly make that an argument, maybe. It's enough Antifa, BLM, burnout niggas that's up there. Maybe they, you know what I'm saying? They might cause some trouble, blow some shit up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the people that's targeting the food supply and all this type of shit, them people is trained military from China, from the Wagner group. You know what I'm saying? Von Clausewitz, who is one of the greatest military strategists and minds of the 19th century. He said politics is war by another means. You know what I'm saying? They teach von Clausewitz at the War College, just like right after you learn about Hannibal and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the tide is turning on all that. All that shit is, yeah, West Point too. Yup. The War College, West Point, yep. So yeah, it's a mass psyop to force everybody into believing that the world is gonna end, you know what I'm saying, and blow up or whatever they say it's gonna do, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like between the 3 days of darkness and the end and the falling of, it's like, come on, man. It's like whatever this y'all niggas is planning to what you want to keep. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Something's gonna come. It could be this, it could be that. Like all of that. When they doing that, they desperate. They desperate when they doing that. Because when 9/11 went down, they wasn't doing none of that. They just did it. Know what I'm saying? And there was little signs that it was gonna go down before that, but you had to really do the knowledge, like the fact none of the fucking Arabs no Arab taxis was in New York that day. What's up with that? All the Arab taxi drivers seem to have missed work that day. What's up with that? Same thing. A lot of the so-called Jewish people that worked in these buildings, a lot of them people allegedly didn't show up to work that day. So maybe somebody got a text, a smoke signal, some shit, something. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like everybody ain't know. Somebody knew, you know, and them people ain't go to work that day. But other people wasn't in the know, and they wound up going. And the rest is history. And then they use that to confiscate our nail clippers and shit at the airport. Like this how crazy it is. Like these niggas took over the planes with nail clippers and shit and baby lotion. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they just was making up anything, and people was going along with it because that's what people do. Because they know they control these niggas. They control these niggas, man. They control them. You know what I mean? We're all of us. Let's keep it all the way real. If you're in third density right now, right? In any type of situation, if you exist in third density, then you are subject of, right, third density itself. Anything can happen to you here. You understand? Anything can happen to you. You could be walking down the street, a piano fall on your head. Like you don't know, because you don't have control over the physical environment the way that we are being told that we do. We do in certain instances, but you have to keep that instance up. Like if you were given the obscene, omnipotent, omniscient power of the Most High, you know what type of responsibility that is? You got to make sure the flowers bloom on time. You got to make sure the water is always there. You got to keep the firmament split. You got to do a lot of different stuff. Yeah. So what they do is, instead of, see, what they used to do was replace the truth with the lies, right? Where you could see something that was not true or true or whatever, and then it would be like, oh, this is what it really was, right? Now what they doing, they're replacing the lies with the truth. They just flooding you with so much truth that you don't believe it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Think about it. You can't say they lying, right? They're not lying. They telling you the truth. They telling you, look, the snow, we making snow. We got direct energy weapons. We doing everything we can to destroy you. We done paid the FDA off. We done paid the CDC off to kill you. To kill you. Like, think about it. Like, okay, the science on the fruit. Like when you go and get the fruit in the supermarket and stuff. All that shit GMO. The only shit that's not GMO is the shit with the 9 on it, right? But even with the 9 on it, it's organic. But what makes it messed up is that they have been put in this thing called MCP in your food since Clinton. Since Clinton era, they've been putting this in there. And it makes it so that way the food can be preserved and stay fresh for up to 3 years. So you could have an organic apple, right? But it don't mean that that apple was organically picked like in the last month. That shit might be 3 years old. But the MCP is keeping it from breaking down. But the problem is you're supposed to eat food that is biodegradable. That's why it's called that. It's called that for a reason. It needs to biodegrade because it helps the good gut flora break up certain stuff within yourself. Right? But they don't want that. They want to kill everybody. And the wild shit is, I'm like, how are you guys poisoning everything on the planet that you can and then expect to still be here and live on it? Like, y'all still got children. It's not like every day y'all niggas got y'all shit so worked out that you're able to not get a GMO plum once in a while. Like, that's going to happen to you and your peoples. So you're really poisoning yourself. So really, they're trying to kill themselves too. You know how crazy that is? It's insane. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas is breathing the same air. It's not like y'all go to a different part of California and y'all got different air. It's not like even when you go to Antarctica and you do the other shit, like even there, you still breathing the same air we all breathing, man. These same people talking about reducing carbon footprint and shit like that. These are the same people getting on private jets, right? Going all over the planet doing shit. Doing rituals or whatever it's like doing. Like it's a joke. It's really a joke, these people. It's really stupid. And so they got these commies ready to basically set it off at the border. Where the issue, think about how stupid this looks to other nations. Like, you look stupid. So you're going to fight your own citizens to stop them from stopping an invasion in your tenure. Like, that's treason. Fuck impeachment. This nigga is committing straight treason. He is opening up the country for invasion. How deliberate do you have to be? How explicitly apparent does something have to be labeled a crime now? You see what I'm saying? So of course Texas is going to do it. And Abbott, the governor, that nigga's like Professor X. He be in the wheelchair. He don't seem like he's stressing it. Seem like he know, like, if this shit go down, you already know. We trying to break away from the United States anyway. Texas trying to do that anyway. Yeah, guys, thank you. Yes, Nicola, yes. You escaped New York. Yes. That's what that movie was about. That's why I liked that movie so much growing up. And that shit in the movie, the date for that happening was 1997. Think about that. Escape from New York allegedly happened in 97. Like, they've been telling you they turning that place to a prison. And y'all niggas still there? Y'all still gonna live there? They just passed a law that said that they could just bag you up and put injects in drugs and shit in you, and there's nothing you can do, and they could keep you as long as they want. And all. Who said that? That goes totally against every tenet of their constitution that they allegedly follow. And New Yorkers just gonna sit there and let them do it? Also what? So they could take you out of your house and then put an immigrant in there? Y'all don't see the grift that they setting up for y'all? It's over, man. Then on the other side, you got all of these fallen angels and shit popping up all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally just popping out of the ground, manifesting in midair, flying past phone lines and shit. They done dug this one out. This one on the left, excuse me, on the far right. They found him in Siberia. And the workers are standing. If you look at the tape, the workers is really zooming in on this nigga, and this nigga looked straight alive. And this ain't no statue. He remind me of one of the, you see them people and they be dressed like robots and they be standing still for hours in the street and shit like that. Then every so often they move to shift the weight and all of that. That's what this nigga look like. He look like he getting ready to go. Yeah, they trying to give you money to move foreigners, to move crazy foreigners that came out of jail cells, insane asylums, rape camps, and you supposed to just put him in your crib. And nobody even knows why. Ask Democrats or any of these niggas that's down for this shit. Ask them why they doing this. Why they have to leave their country open for this type of invasion. Why? Because they know that they're done. This regime did so much shit. They did too much. Y'all did way too much, way too early in the game. And nobody wants them in there no more. Nobody wants them. So they know that if this nigga gets in, it's not only over for them, it's over for the whole globalist agenda. Because that's when they talk about the blue beam and they talk about, the fake alien invasion and shit, that's not the US doing all of that. That's not going to be the US doing all of that. That's going to be the WHO, UN, WEF, Council of Foreign Relations. You see, it's going to be that. It's going to be them people. It ain't going to be nobody in Congress and US government. Them niggas is just there to try to push the shit through. They not to be a part of the shit like that. You understand? So like I said, they got fallen angels popping up all over the place, all these anomalies, shadow people, giants, planets popping up out of shit, double suns. Like it shit is off the chain right now. They can't hide none of this. They can't hide none of this. So that's what I'm saying. So they can't lie about none of it no more. So if they can't lie about it, the only way is to truth bomb everything. Just to shove the truth, just to keep showing you how none of this shit that you thought was what it was is actually what it is. It's not. It's everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everything else. None of the shit that we think, oh, this person made this up out of their own imagination. No. Everything that they are doing, if it comes from them, it then came from something else that was already here. Once you accept that, once we know that that's what it is, then we good. Because then you stop depending on them to define your reality. You see what I'm saying? Once you stop relying on them to define the reality for you, and you understand what the reality is, what it's becoming, because what it's always been, then you see it for what it is. You don't have to get caught up. You're not subject to the obvious obfuscation of not only the truth, but your right to perceive the truth as it is. Like you could see the truth, but then somebody come, this is where the interpreters. You know when you go to the museum and then you there and then you talking at the museum and you seeing what you're doing, and somebody comes in and then the next thing you know, you're busting some shit down and then they immediately start telling you what it is. That's what they do in reality. So you could see the truth, see this person getting killed, raped, or whatever, but then they'll come up with a reason why it's okay for it to happen, and then it's like it's okay. You understand? Like we know the slave ship has nothing to do with a real slave ship. We all understand that now, right? We all understand that the slave ship is really a model of the central nervous system in the body. And that each one of the little men in that represents one of the nerve fibers connected to the spinal column, which allows you to either be conscious of where you are in the sea, whether it's the real sea, right, to SEEC or the SEAC. You know what I'm saying? This is the transit. This is the slave ship. The slave ship is really the central nervous system. And this is where they put all of the slave mentality. This is why the back was always whipped by the slave master, right? He could have whipped them on the front all the time, but whenever you see the slave, he get whipped where? On his back. Why? Because this is where the slave ship first docked in America, on our backs. When you look at this fake diagram of the slave ship, each slave is laying on his back, right? As if this would be as if this would be physically possible to actually do in real life. You would have to vacuum pack these niggas and cryo freeze them to be able to move them this efficiently, right? Because they couldn't be awake, they couldn't be conscious, because they would be going to the bathroom, which means you would be drowning in urine and feces the first couple of hours. Yes, so when they say the country was built on the back of the black man, this was the whip, the cat of the nine tails, right? That was whipped on the back to ingrain the idea of the slave ship, to ingrain the idea of the slave, so that way it would travel up and down through the first sacral all the way up to the spinal column, right? And therefore now they have a mind-controlled slave who would believe that people who could not read or write or bathe or prepare their food properly or had a circumnavigational system, who were not architecturally viably sound at the time, believed that they could take these niggas from one side of the world and bring them to another side of the world where they had never even been or had maps to get to. And they created an entire industry. They created an entire industry on this fact. Think about it, what I'm saying. They created an entire industry on lying to you about where your ancestors came from, while everybody came over here trying to impersonate you. This is the shit they done to us. Yes, they're bringing the mutants in to replace the modern American, right? The Moorish American, we Moors, we're never going to be replaced. You hear what I'm telling you? We're never going to be replaced. We're never going to be deported anywhere. You know why? Because if they could send us anywhere, they'd have been sent us. Think about what I'm saying. Like, that's never going to happen. We're never going to be sent nowhere. What you might do, what they might try to intern us in some camps for a while, blah blah blah, and then all of that shit, that's not gonna last. They can't keep any of this shit up, bro. They want us to believe. You got to understand. This is what I saw the book of Clarence last night. Let me get into that in a minute too. But the whole idea, what I've been saying, the war between belief and knowing is where we are at right now. This is where the whole thing is devolving into. You know what I'm saying? But none of this shit is real. None of this shit that they done shown us is actually what they say it is, because they're saying what it is. If they're saying what it is, it can't be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to look at it that way. Like, if he's saying, oh, well, this is such and such is like this, then you got to look at it like, okay, well, he's lying because he's talking. So let me look at the part of this that might be true, and then I'll analyze the rest. Well, no. Well, yes, in a way that's true. Mark said people are actually humans, so their plans never go accordingly because humans will react, and we're not react. We're not just about to let y'all do whatever y'all want to us variables mentioned earlier. Exactly. Exactly. Humans are monsters. That's why they want us to have human rights instead of divine rights, or the rights of the divine. You understand? Us as being men and women. That's why they don't want us using terms like men or man and woman or the royal we. They don't want us using terms like that because that puts us in a higher position than them because they're not human. They're a part of a machine that devours and makes people think that what they're looking at is one thing when it's really something else. You understand? Like for instance, let me get this. Like they be lining you up and people just be thinking. So remember, this whole slave ship thing is about conquering the central nervous system and putting you 7 years beyond the sea. So that way you are gone and now your slave ship can be docked into whatever harbor they dictated to based upon them and you accepting the racial degradation. You know what I'm saying? So remember, they know that they're not from any of these ancient places. They know what their job is to get as many of our people to go along with their version of what our people are supposed to look like and be. That's how they win. So really what I'm saying is if you don't believe it, it cannot be true. Right? Because that's how they created the society. If you don't believe in the shit that they saying, then you are now a threat to them. Because belief to them is reality. But belief is not reality. Belief is belief. And we only believe in that which we don't know. Faith is different than belief. Well, faith is an aspect of belief, right? According to their Bible, it says that faith is the belief in things hoped for. You understand? So you can only believe shit you don't know, and you can only know shit, but when you know something, you no longer believe it. You see the problem? So, like, you could know that the people around you are totally satanic and they lining you up for a sacrifice by aligning your essence and your visage with an ancient goddess deity who slept with fallen angels to produce abominations that led to the 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 uh the worship of creation instead of the creator, right? And then, if you don't do enough for whatever it is, then they get you up out of here. But now you can always live immortally as this entity, which means this entity has now totally taken you over, especially if it was the last thing people seen you at. You see what I'm saying? Then on the other side, you got these things. These motherfuckers know that they was nowhere around any of this. Yet they feel that they can come in and actually redistribute how it looked. But remember, modern Egypt as we know it was created in the 1800s when everything was getting switched up, remember? They invented that place. The British invented modern Egypt. There's whole documentaries on it. They moved shit. Like, how do you move? Obviously these people put these statues there for a reason. So what the hell are you moving them for? Because you wanna what? You trying to change the topographical view of how they saw it? Like, what are you doing? Why do you keep digging these things up? Why don't you let the dead rest, especially if that's your religion? You a Muslim. You ain't supposed to be moving no dead bodies. You ain't supposed to be desecrating dead bodies as a Muslim. You know that, right? That's not cool. You're supposed to be doing all that. Shit. Hold up. Let me just get this. Like, it's not real if you're doing all of this. Plus, they give me the extra digitized picture. I'm trying to show you. Also, this goes along with the whole dead internet aspect and theory that people been talking about as well. Like, this internet been fake. All of this stuff been fake. Like, none of it's really real like that. All of it is staged and hooked up. That's why they want to lock everybody into algorithms, because the algorithm is the new slave ship. You ever notice that once you listen to a certain group of songs, whenever you go on, especially if you listen to it through YouTube and stuff like that, then you go on to different things to listen to. It's like it always plays and puts you in the same loop of the same songs, to the point that you almost forget other songs outside of that window, outside of that mix that they've created for you. And that's not cool. That's not something that should be happening. I should be able to think about whatever songs I want and then put them on without you constantly putting the same ones in rotation and shit. Like, you doing exactly what the programmers used to do. But that's because there's more bots on the internet and shit than actually is people. And corporations are acting as if it's that. And now with the AI shit, it's really over. Like, they got us, you got Egyptian scholars been taking people over here for decades and shit like that. And in my opinion, most of that shit is not even real. Most of that shit is fake, bro. Like, look at what I'm saying. They was able to take this thing apart piece by piece and moved it. And then once they moved it, the place they moved it to was a little higher, and then they flooded the whole Aswan. So his whole temple complexes, whole cities just underground. Why do they always do that to melanated people's cultures? Why are they always doing that? Like under Lake Lanier, under Silver Lake, there's all of these different lakes. Whenever you see a lake, just know that there's a city or some shit under there. And most likely it was melanated people that they done flooded over. Look at this shit, man. Look at this. They showing you. We built this. We built this. But all of the ones over here, they all up under earth. They all up underground and grass and shit. Yeah, the algorithm, that's the new frequency fence to keep you locked in. What do you think of, oh, leave the world behind? Yeah, leave the world behind, that was a weapon, because they attached a scalar wave under the show. So while we were watching it, we were all being bombarded with different scalar wave technology to induce fear or whatever. And that's why a lot of the imagery was so just on the nose. Like when the little kid was standing with his sister and she had the NASA shirt on and he had the Obey shirt on. Like, come on, y'all. Like this is how blatantly obvious y'all niggas got to be with the programming now. which means y'all downstairs with it. It ain't working no more. You got to be that direct now. Like, you just got to be on the nose with it now. All the subtlety and all that shit that went out because none of it's working no more. Thank you. Lake Lanier, Lake Alatuna in Georgia, Lake Hartwell, Lake Jacassi, Lake Kiowa, Lake Greenwood in South Carolina, Lake, who else you said? Balin. Lake Martin in Alabama, the lakes in Tennessee Valley. Yes, every one of them lakes got a Moorish city under it. Look, man, look, like this is what I'm saying. Like, we thinking Marge Simpson is Marge Simpson. No, that's an old goddess that these niggas was worshiping from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? All of these niggas with the cornelian rings and all of that, they all in the same blood drinking family. It don't matter what color you are. That's just to throw you off. So boom, once you don't care about the color, then they got to throw the gender in. Once they don't care about the gender, then they got to throw the identity in. Once you don't care about the identity, then they got to throw the religion in. Once you don't care about the religion, what happens? That's it. That's all the cards they got. Yes, even Marge Simpson come from Egypt, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. These niggas don't, it's like, oh God, what else are you gonna do? What else have you not lied about? At what point do people just say, look, man, God damn, can you just nothing? You gotta be at war with everything. Everything gotta be killing everybody. And my thing is the people that's working with them to do this, like, what do you think they doing to you? It's happening to you. You're still breathing the same air that these niggas is poisoning. You breathing it too. Stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the niggas in the chemtrail planes. Nigga, you gonna die before me. You right next to the gas. You sitting on top of the gas canister, nigga. And you spraying this shit in the air like, oh yeah, they telling me to do it. But it's like, nigga, you gonna die. You before me. Way before me. You sitting on top of the gas canister, nigga. And what you this is what I mean about cognitive dissonance. Like, these niggas are done. They have no perception of their own safety. They don't even care about their own safety. They like, yeah, this gonna kill all these niggas, but it's gonna kill you too, stupid. Like, yo. Yeah, exactly. It's like when the Hydra niggas be taking the pill. Mark said it's like the Hydra niggas taking the pills before they get questioned, so they die with cyanide and shit. It's like this. What I'm saying, like, it's stupid. Y'all stupid. You're just stupid. You're just stupid. You know what I mean? Like, evil is stupid. It's efficient. It works. You know, but it's all based in fear. So that means what? You gotta be angry all the time. You gotta be hateful all the time. Who got energy for that? Who got energy for that, for real, for real? If you got energy to be evil all the time, like every time I see you, you're evil. Like, come on, man. You don't smile at all. You don't have no joy, no happiness. Yes, that's how these niggas is living now. That's how these pink haired, you know what I'm saying? These types, this is how these niggas be. They're perpetually downtrodden. Because there's no benefit to evil. Who does it really benefit? Who is benefiting off of Biden? Evil people, right? Niggas that's evil. And what do they get out of it? Money, which is only spendable in this reality. It's not like you could take the money and go to the fourth dimension and shit and splurge out and shit and buy Gucci and all that shit. You can't do none of that when you leave here. So you accumulating all of this money, all of this shit to do what? Be evil with it? Nah, man. It got to be more to the game than that. That's why evil never wins. That's why it doesn't win. It has a season, but it can't win because it's evil. You see what I'm saying? The reason why all of the movies and stuff suck now is because there's nothing but evil people in Hollywood doing movies. They done purged out all of the people who are less evil. The people who weren't so evil that they couldn't create good shit anymore. They got rid of all of them people just straight evil people now. So everything sucks. There can't be no heroes because they're evil. They don't know how to be heroic. They don't know what a hero's journey is. They can't relate to that. So what they gotta do, they gotta make evil niggas seem good. That's what Despicable Me is about. If you think about it, that's what Megamind was about. That's what these movies be about. All of these new Marvel movies with the females, all of the females are rampantly evil. Evil. So they can't do nothing good. They can't. So everything is made to suffer, which then means that everybody starts checking out. Nobody wants to watch some bullshit. So people then checked out of all of that. So it's over. At least with entertainment, you could keep the charade going. Now that the entertainment sucks, it's like everything is just done. Y'all done. Y'all done. You don't have nothing else. Everything you could have done better, you did it. So now it's over for you. It's a wrap. So let me pull this up. So y'all heard about the tape with Kerry Lake the other day where homie was bribing her, right? Y'all heard about that, right? Y'all heard the tape? She put this nigga all the way on blast. This nigga was like, well, yeah, we work for the people up, back east, some very, very powerful people. And, they like you to step down and not run for 2 years. And we're just trying to figure out, how, what that might look like, what you might need to do that. And she like, I ain't gonna stop running. What y'all talking about? I ain't doing that. Who is these people? These niggas need to be behind me. He like, yeah, but I don't, you can't play this tape for anybody because I'll go to my car and like this is how this nigga's talking. Like it's like that. He literally bribing her. She's like, look, if it's a globalist agenda, I'm not with it. I'm not with this shit. So tell them niggas, I said I'm not taking their money. I'm not going not running all of that. And this is this bitch's friend. This is her friend. They at dinner. This nigga he pulled the bribe out at dinner. Like, yo, I was talking to them people back east that's trying to lock Trump up and shit. And they like, look, if you just step down for like a year, 2 years, you know what I mean? We'll come back. We just want to see what we could do. Like, if there's a company that, we could get you, be the CEO of or something like that. Like, like, how can we make this happen? Like, this nigga really brokering this shit. And this bitch is like, I'm offended. Nigga, you bribing me. He's like, well, don't look at it like that. Then this nigga, this is what I mean about evil people. They don't even understand, like, they can't even read the room. They be so evil and they be so about what they want. They not even seeing, he probably not even seeing this bitch face, like, changing in front of him. Like, she's like, nigga, I'm not doing that. He's like, yeah, but is there's a way that we can maybe make something like that happen and then we can boom. And she's like, look, so you asking me how much I can be bought for? And then she laughed and shit. And he's like, well, don't look at it like that. He said, you should be flattered. This is what this nigga said. You should be flattered that these pieces of shit, these rich pieces of shit feel so threatened by you that they want to buy you off. So you hear what he's saying? He's saying you should be happy. You should feel like you really doing something good if these bad people want to get you out the way. This is what this nigga saying. She put that tape out. That nigga resigned the next day. The next day, that nigga was out of there, son. Out. Then tried to spin it. This is what I mean about these evil niggas. They try to make it seem like the shit I heard is not what I just heard. I just heard you bribing her. This nigga said the conversation was taken out of context. What? It was taken out of context, and that he was actually trying to get her to he was actually trying to help her with her career. This is what I'm saying, man. So the enemy, my friend. Drumpf may be whatever, but what I do know is he done got more niggas out of jail than any other president I know. He got more niggas paid than anybody nigga I know. Seemed like everybody in Hollywood wanted to be around this nigga prior to him becoming what he became. And then after, they tried to act like they was always against this nigga. And he's like, oh, well, you know, his university was a scam. So what? I wasn't going to Trump University to get money. Who thought that was a good idea? If y'all niggas wanted to do that, then do that. But don't put it on that man like he did some shit. Did something wrong by setting up a business grift based upon his brand. His brand is about getting money. America is about what? Getting money. Don't they want that? No. They print money. So what they're doing is not about money. It's about access. It's about compromise. It's about blackmail. Like I've been telling everybody, that's what politics is. Blackmail. All these niggas got sex tapes. All these niggas got snuff tapes. All of them. I ain't got to say allegedly with that. All of them. And it's not like they didn't know he was going to be president. We saw this shit on The Simpsons. Didn't we? Didn't we see the nigga on The Simpsons run for president and win? We saw that before it happened. Because they be on their Kabbalah predictive programming, because that's all they got, man. Because their time is severely limited now. Yes, we saw it on The Simpsons, and I'm showing you Marge Simpson was from Egypt, nigga. Marge Simpson was a goddess in Kemet, nigga. Like this is the level of Dante's Inferno we in now. Like what? Yes. This bitch Marge is on sarcophagi. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a joke. It's all a joke. So stop getting mad and acting like this nigga. He's gonna do what he's supposed to do. That's his job. Get money. And people, these commies don't want you to have nothing. Well, at the same time, telling you that they want you to have everything. Like it can't exist no more. The age of belief is over. It's over. Kali Yuga then ended for people that's into that Eastern dialect shit and all of that. Kali Yuga era over. Golden era, this is where we at right now. So it's all getting thrown out. So one of the big things that's resurging now is Preterism. Anybody know what Preterism is? Or have you heard of it? Because it's a religion. If you ain't know. Or how they say, it's a religious practice. Y'all know what it is? Lenny said, president worship. It sounds like that. Nah, not Preterism, Preterism. Preterism. It's all good. We're gonna go on. He said, Yoni Melanin says, so many religions I can't keep up. I don't blame you. You're right. So what you're seeing on your screen is straight heathen Satanism. Satanism is the legal version of Luciferianism. Lucifer is an Italian word and does not appear in any of the ancient annals that we think. Lucifer comes into the Italian lexicon around the time that they wrote Faust. Y'all know the story of Faust, right? Right. Okay. So what Preterism, okay, so during the hippie movement, right? Like once the hippies, okay, all of the hippies get a book called Weird Scenes from Laurel Canyon. Get another book called Thanks for the Memories by Kathy O'Brien. Get another book called The Conspiracy Against Rock. Get another book called The Satanic Origins of Rock and Roll. And what you'll see is that the whole hippie movement, the whole rock and roll movement was set up by the sons and daughters of military intelligence niggas. That's why all of the scene, the real hippie California music scene and all of that started up there, right under a place they call Lookout Mountain. Today, Lookout Mountain is I think they turned it into a apartment complex or some shit. But this is where high military niggas used to go to film shit and do propaganda or whatever they was doing. So all of these niggas, I'm not just saying some, I'm saying all of them. All these niggas came out of military families. One of the biggest ones was y'all heard of Jim Morrison, right? From the Doors, right? Jim Morrison father, Admiral Morrison, was the chief architect in the fake false flag attack of USS, I want to say, don't quote me, but it was a battle cruiser off the coast of Vietnam that they shot down and sunk themselves and blamed it on the Viet Cong, right? The Viet Cong at this time is run by Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh back in the 20s was a Garveyite. Listen to what I'm saying. The head of the Vietnamese Liberation Army was in the Marcus Garvey UNIA movement in Harlem in the 20s or 30s. That's facts, right? This nigga, Jim Morrison father, shot down the ship, which gave them the false flag pretense to then attack and set off what became the Vietnam War. Was Garvey a Catholic? Probably. He was part of the American liberate. He was part of the American Colonial Society. He was also friends with a white devil named Walter Pleckler, who was the one who started to redesignate American Moors as Negroes and African Americans. He said, then why we honor him? Because the prophet wasn't a hater. And when Garvey wound up going to jail, all of those Garveyites was really well-to-do paid people. And they wanted to, he needed people to come into the Moorish Science temple. So he just brought them in, and in that corrected everything. So whereas Garvey was calling you the Negro, the United Negro, this, and that, when you came into the temple, he went and said the opposite. You're not Negro, black, colored. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just shit, like if it was today, like these niggas be debating each other and shit, instead of him coming out and dissing him, he basically welcomed his followers and then also showed his followers that he was putting money on Garvey books. Basically the soft shoe, and this is my perception of what happened, why he did that. And that's what happened. So Preterism, yeah, sound like a devil to me too, but he was working with Plekler, and him and Plekler were able to get as many so-called blacks to believe that they was a Negro or whatever, and they would start listing themselves as Negro, black, colored, which then gave Plekler the right to redesignate them as foreign to their own land, which then he could then take the land from them, right? Stop making them be seen as native-born Moors, native-born Indians, or whatever you want to call it, right? And now he can redesignate them as he want, and then take that land and give that to the immigrants that's coming over here. Good plan, right? Remember, Marcus Garvey wasn't even from America. He's from Jamaica. And some people say that he actually was the Marquis of Salisbury, which is where? In England, right? Because that's where a lot of the royal families and a lot of the black royal Britons had to flee to, Jamaica and all of the islands, and then eventually America, after they got kicked out during the Reformation. So Preterism. Preterism holds that the contents of Revelation constitute a prophecy of events that were fulfilled in the first century. Preterists believe that the dating of the book of Revelation is of vital importance and that it was written before the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 770. Now, why is that? What does this mean? This means that, like I was telling you, back in the hippie movement, going back to the Laurel Canyon shit, the hippies was there to detract from the real anti-Vietnam War movements, the real peace movements that existed. They were there to kind of like integrate with them, get them on dope, get them on LSD and rock and all of that shit, and then get them caught up in sexual shit, and then move them away from the grassroots anti-war shit that they was doing. So the hippies and all of that was created by Central Intelligence, most likely. That's why all of them came out of some sort of intelligence, whether it be American, CIA, whether it was MI6, whether it was ISS, whatever it was, these all of the brats from that. Just like Barry, just like Obama. He's a product of that. So after they killed all of the hippie movement, right? They had made the hippies look crazy through the MK Ultra shit. The culmination of that was the mass ritual killing of Shannon Tate and them. That's what put the last nail in the coffin for the hippie movement, the flower power movement. So now all of these radicalized hippies that were actually really about the movement, they really thought it was real, just like with the Panthers. They really thought the shit was real. They then got ultra radicalized, and then they all moved into something called the Weatherman Underground. This is facts, I'm telling you. Once they got into the Weatherman Underground, these niggas started doing political hits. They started blowing up government buildings, kidnapping senators, all of that. This all culminated then into the CIA creating something called the Symbionese Army that then wound up kidnapping Patty Hearst and then radicalized her, got her to kill cops, got her to rob banks and shit. And then after the program was done, she just turned off the program and then went right back to her Hearst lifestyle. So in the stage of that, they also were now injecting more Freemasonry and satanic stuff into the movement. So they had an anti-backlash of that. And this became known as the Jesus movement. Right? The Jesus movement gave rise to the Christian rock, folk rock type shit. Okay? And remember, all of those people were ops. So ultimately, that's what happened. So the Jesus movement was also a low-key Preterist movement. That's why I brought it up. So the Jesus movement, being that it was a soft shoe into Preterism, this is what it's about. So again, Preterists believe that dating of the book, boom, with the destruction of Jerusalem. Why is that important? So what they believe, or what they're trying to say, is that when Yeshua came and did what he did, right? Whether you believe in that or not, something was thing with it, because what it did was Rome was destroyed. Okay, so the story in the timeline is he's born in 33 AD, allegedly. Then by 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, by like let's say 50 AD, he goes through the whole purpose and goes through the whole thing. And the next thing you know, he winds up getting killed by the Romans and all of that. And then that ushers in now the new paradigm. That paradigm being that this guy was gonna come back. So what that says is this. That says that if that was the case, then that means that he was everything that he was talking about, right? Everything that he allegedly was talking about then was strictly about the people that was in front of him at the time. Think about it. If he was trying to get people to see him as God, right? Why would he tell those people that the time that he would come back would be in a time that they would not exist no more? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why would he go, like, if I say, hey, this is going to happen in such and such a time, right? If I give you a date, hey, this is going to happen by next year. Like in another 3 years, I'm going to come back and do such and such and such. So that means between now and them 3 years, whatever I expect you to do, technically you got at least between now and 3 years to do it. So in that, I'm speaking of shit that's happening in my lifetime. So that's what they're really saying. They're saying that this dude was actually talking to the people in his time, that he was coming in his time to do what he needed to do and change up shit and usher in the new kingdom. Thank you. Right? So what that then would mean then, that when the Christians are saying, oh, this is gonna come, this the second coming, like he gonna come back. Like, how can he come back if the people that he was talking to said that he already came back? So he gonna come back again? This is where Christians now find themselves in a kind of a predicament, because they are waiting for something that may have already happened, and their own Bible is saying that it happened like that. So again, why would the man say, why didn't he say within X amount of years thing? He said, no, the kingdom of God is at hand. So he's saying in his time, he talking to his people like, no, this shit is about to happen. I'm going to come back and we're going to shut all this shit down. So you need to get right with Allah now. And so when the so-called Romans allegedly crucified this person, they then became bear witness. And who helped the Romans kill him? Who helped the Romans kill him in the story? Yes, the priests, right? Who were the Sadducees, the Pharisees, right? The black robe niggas, yes. Them niggas, the Freemasons, the rabbis, the Talmudians that's running the temple. Remember, up until his story, in his story, that's the first time we hear somebody running up in the dirt in the temple and running the people out, running the money changers out, running the bankers out, right? So them same people decided that he can't be the Messiah because it's supposed to happen such and such and such, and they got with Rome and said, well, we're going to kill all of these Messiah niggas. And so they did. But according to the story, they was wrong about this nigga because he actually was the one. So he goes, right? Then what happens by 70 AD? The fall of the temple of Israel, right? But when we think of Mystery Babylon, like when we read the Bible, or you hear certain people in the cons community and things like that start going through Bible stories and they start talking about the shit, they make it seem like the shit already happened, or you know, is going to come. But how is it going to come when the very place that it happened already fell? They got us thinking Mystery Babylon is the United States, and I don't think it's that. I think Mystery Babylon was actually the Temple of Jerusalem that got shut down in 70 AD, because that was the time that they was doing all of the Babylonian magic and all of the heathen shit in there, where they was Jews, but they was Masons, and they was doing all types of rituals to all of these other gods, disrespecting their God. Yeah, whoever these people were, I think that they thought that this dude that they got rid of was like was the charlatan, but turned out he was the real dude, because after he came, Revelations say that the beast, that the great beast would be born, right? And his number would be 666. When we look at the birth of the Emperor Nero, he was born on the 6th day of the 6th month of the 6th year. So there he go then. And Nero was horrible, right? If anybody fit the term of an antichrist, it would be him. So then boom, again, we're going with the story. So boom, he comes out, he do his thing, he winds up getting killed right around the time that Rome started burning, right? Rome starts burning after this. After Rome burns, then what happens? Mount Vesuvius erupts. Then what happened? Pompeii gets messed up, right? That gets destroyed. Then what happened? The great ice box get open, right? They all fall into what? Then Rome gets split. You know, before that, right before it falls, they split it. They have the eastern portion and they have the western portion. The western portion is speaking Latin. The eastern portion is speaking Old Macedonian Greek, Aramaic, Ethiopic, right? And then Rome itself just falls. It's done. Right? Rome is done. Who takes over? Who takes over when Rome falls? Because we're in the dark ages now. Who was ruling in the dark ages? The Moors were ruling in the dark ages. Yes, that's why they call them dark. Right? So now think about what this is saying. If we go by the story of how they saying Yeshua, some people call Yehovah Hawashai, right? Depending on how Hebrew you get with it, you know. This dude comes through, he puts it down, right? Oh, wait, let me get this. Now, boom, everything gets set up, right? The Roman Empire, the same people that allegedly killed this dude, not only are they dying in masses, but all of their buildings, everything is getting. Can you use scissors instead, man? Everything is getting redone. Everything is getting redistributed, right? Okay, is this a lot on them? Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. But look though, and then all of a sudden you start seeing all of this, right? Look at this. Look, this dude right here, he holding a whole castle in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. Look, and he got a scimitar, right? So start to do the knowledge to this, and then remember, this is all happening during the so-called Moorish Empire, right? Now, when you look at images of this dude, hold up. Now look at this. Look at these people compared to Yeshua. And you tell me if you see a correlation. Because if the Dark Ages were the time that these so-called people or Rome was put back in the icebox, and now the so-called kingdom has been established on earth, right? And during this same Dark Age time, these so-called Moors are the ones in control, then wouldn't that mean that the Moorish Empire itself was this resurrected kingdom of this dude? Look at these Moors with the fezzes on. Look at this dude with the fez right here. Look at this dude. Look, what's that on his head? And who is he right next to? He right next to the man. Do the knowledge. Do knowledge. Look, oh, everybody got crowns on. Everybody got burnouses on. Everybody got the same Moorish habit shit that we be wearing right now. Look at this dude. Where the white folks at? Where they at? They not in here. Look, look. Same dude. Same type of shit. Look. Didn't you read, didn't we read in Stanley Lane Poole, Story of the Moors in Spain, that these Moors came over there and had heavy technology, that their technology was so upstairs that the Romans didn't have no way of dealing with them. Didn't they say that about the Moors? Where the Moors get it from then? And why was they all dressed the same way this dude was dressed? We don't see anything strange in that. You want to see anything symbolic in that? Think about it. This the king. Look, this the Sultan of Morocco from an old lithograph. Sultan bin Sid Mohammed Abdullah excuse me. And look what he got on. Wait. Look. Look. Who they dress like? They dress like these dudes. These dudes that was allegedly running this so-called kingdom that somehow miraculously came on earth and made basically Moors like superhumans. They said that the Moors were so upstairs with knowledge that they not only had paved streets of gold. Now you can read the Alhambra by Washington Irving, and this is a white man talking all of this. He said the technology that they had was otherworldly. They said that they had water that one half of the year flowed up the fountain and the other half of the year flowed the other way. How they do that? Where they get that from? And remember, the Moors were the ones who shut the whole Roman sector down, shut it down all the way, where they literally had to split it up, where there literally was no more Rome like that. The closest thing you had to Rome in what they call Europe, which don't exist, remember, that's West Asia, was the Astara kingdom. And it was very, very small. We literally thing, but because they knew how to fight and they was really still about what they was about, they kept it like that. But when you read Flavius Josephus, right? Flavius Josephus said that in his lifetime, he saw this. This is a depiction of what they say Flavius Josephus wrote. As well as Tacitus. He said that he saw the skies open up and the Son of Man and his armies come out and laid waste to everything. And from that time, erected a new paradise, a new kingdom. Right? So there's actual people who said they was there and seen it come down. They seen it happen. Then we start seeing all of the rise of all of these different types of, especially in Russia, because Russia wasn't there for the whole Reconquista and all of that. They shut everybody out to keep everything going the way it was. That's why the Russian patriarchs got so much of this stuff in there, because the white people couldn't go in there and fix it up after the kingdom and everything fell. So you start seeing all of these kingdoms of all of these images of these people with these uraeus around their heads in all different cultures, though. Because didn't they say that the Moorish Empire went around the entire world? And they got everybody on the same accord, to the point that at one point, everybody on earth was speaking the same language. Didn't they say that? Now, their Bible says that that a day to God is 1,000 years to man. Right? This is where you start seeing all of these uraeus crowns and all of this other stuff start coming into view in iconography. You start seeing stuff like this. Right? What are these things telling us? What are they showing us? They're showing us that when they speak of the Moorish Empire or the Moors in general, or even let's say Granada, it was the last stronghold because that was the seat, or one of the seats by which we ran the entire world as heirs apparent to the so-called millennial kingdoms. That were the kingdoms of the Moors, because these are the people who shut down Rome, right? They say, oh, the Visigoths did that. No, the Visigoths were Romans. Remember? The Visigoths were Romans. The Vandals were Romans. The Italians are Romans. The Spaniards are Romans. All of these people are Romans. The French are Romans. The Germans are Romans. So they got a new way that they are able to date documents based on the old clay tablets that they had in ancient Samaria, ancient Mesopotamia, both Mesopotamia over there and over here. This tablet right here is an old Sumerian tablet that's actually like a receipt. This is how niggas used to have like receipts. You would have your clay tablet and then you would etch in. So some of them, this was like the old school BlackBerry. So these would be good for like receipts or telling the story of the family or whatever like that, right? So in these clay tablets, each one of these clay tablets they found at the core of it actually has a magnetic field, right? Yes, the prophet said, give Christianity back to Rome. However, the Circle 7 also gives respect to Isa, and it talks about all of the different places that he spread the gospel, right? Talks about him in India, talks about him in China, right? This is, so what we're reading, what I'm starting to surmise is what we're reading is how the empire expanded after the destruction of the temple and after Rome fell. This is when the dark ages, which is really the golden ages, began, and this is when he's spreading the gospel, right? And the Moors are spreading the gospel all over the world. So they got a new way to date everything, right? So this is why the prophet said Moors don't get rid of your Bibles. So peep this. The Moro of Indian literature is none other than the Moro, right? Moro, and Shiva of the Sudan, a primeval Moro that was long ago lost to the cataclysm. The four kingdoms of Saka were the Maga, the Magna, the Masaka, and the Mansa, like Mansa Musa, and the Mandaga. The Maga or Magians, or the Maka or the Persian instruction. So all of those are Moors. Then you have the Masakas from the Mahabharata, and then you have the Kastriyas, right? So all of these families result in what they call the Medians, who have a four-parent family connection to the ancient Mandi speakers of so-called Africa. Remember the Mandis, the Malay, and all of it, these are Moors, right? Especially the Manding, who often accompanied the Dravidians out of Middle Africa into Asia. This explains the close relationship between who? The Elamite and the Manding languages. The Elamite are the Proto-Sumerians. They are the Proto-Babylonians. The Kushite first cousins, Kushite Mandi kingdom lines of the Olmec Asians traveled to the southeast of West Nubia, Sudan, and formed the kingdoms of the Mayas, the Incas, the Arawaks, the Caribs, the Chicahuayas, and in South America. So in dating this, they found that within the magnetic field of these clay tablets, that there was a certain time, right? That in dating it, that around, right? So these are the Jones from Mesopotamia. So they start peeping it that within certain time frames, that through this they're able to date how high the magnetic field of the planet was at the time, right? And now look, this period right here, this period right here represents the time that we would say or refer to as the Dark Ages, or the time that the Moors was running everything. See how high the magnetic sphere got during this period? This is why when you read the story of Elaine Poole and all of that, they talked about how Granada had, or why a lot of these ancient structures didn't have no bathrooms. Like, we had vibrated to the point that we wasn't even producing waste the way that regular people was, which is why we was in these so-called exemplified bodies, right? Look, this is also why so many of us were Christian. Remember I talked to you about the Nestorian Christians and how they was fighters, how these niggas basically went to war with whoever was trying to stop them from bringing forth the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. This is what I'm talking about. This is why when you read the Washington Irving book on Granada and all of that, he said that the Moors, the Christians, and the Muslims were at such a high level of science and peace that one could not tell one from the other, because they all worshiped God and called Allah or God by the same name. What was the name that Yeshua was calling God? Remember, he spoke Aramaic. So what name was he calling God? Yes, yes, Dan. Ella or Allah. Yeah, Allah or Elaha. So the Muslims is calling them Allah. The Aramaics is calling them Ella. And then the Hebrews is calling them Elaha or Elihu. Exactly. Because the true Christians are Nazarenes. The true Christians are Moors. Because we're the ones that ushered in the kingdom. And then in that became the visage of his position, or the position of Allah or Elaha or Allah on earth. Look at what I'm saying. Look at this. Oh, let me get this out. This is also why the Moorish Empire or the Moorish kingdoms had to be shut down, and why we didn't even know that the Moors existed until a certain time. Think about that. We were made to believe, this is what I'm saying, like, we were made to believe so much stuff that ain't true about us and our history, that we just would take the tribal aspect of it and thought it was true. Like when we got knowledge of self, and then we grew up Christian and then found out that the white Jesus wasn't real and all of that, we railed against that, right? And then we went in and became Muslim, or let's say Islamic, right? And then we start getting into that and start realizing, hey, a lot of these Muslims, a lot of these pale Arab niggas is wilding with this shit. Like, I'm not looking at it, I'm not on it like that. Right? Right? That's what we did. And then we get to a certain understanding where we realize that what we see as religion and what we see as spirituality and what we see as coming into our own or ourself is actually us accepting that Allah exists in the heart. Because that's what it, then what did Yeshua say? He said the kingdom of God dwells within, right? What the prophets say? He said the kingdom is in the heart. What is the heart represented by? Leo. When did this dark ages and everything happen? During the age of Leo. So that's what I'm saying. Look, this is one of the most famous paintings of them all. I hate these niggas. Look. Look at this shit. Like, we've been looking at it all wrong. When it says that we are tied to the vine and we're tied to the blood, like, this is what they're talking about. We're divinely reflective of he who manifested and came. And in that, this is where all of these so-called black nobility families and all of this shit came from. When we was thinking that all of Europe was white and all of that, we're looking at the fake pictures that they created with it, right? But that's not the real imagery. That's not what was really going on. The real imagery is the stuff that we're looking at right now. This is what was actually popping at the time. And all of these so-called people, all of these so-called Moors, right, came in the game, and they basically were of the same ilk, to the point that they literally, what other people on earth dressed like the same person that they was allegedly fighting against? Think about that. How could they be ushering in this new kingdom and all of this stuff that happened while at the same time fighting against them? Because they was fighting against those Moors who was still caught up with Rome and was still allying themselves with the false prophets and all of that. And so they couldn't maintain their version of Christianity because that was fake. That was on the way out. Remember? And remember, the Moors always allowed the so-called Christians to live amongst them. They would just have to pay the jizya, right? Which was the tax for people who weren't so-called Islamic. But the Islamism that they was dealing with is not the same Islam that these Arabs is dealing with today. I know that's a fact. It can't be, because we not worshiping the same thing. Where is this one image? Okay, I'm gonna just use this one. That's what all of these black nobility families was. That's why King James and them could claim that they were descended from the king and that they were descended from this, because all of us in the bloodline that existed during that reign descended from those people who were there during the reign. And that reign was all under the jurisdiction, or was ushered in by the Moorish Empire. Look, who this look like? Who dressed like this? Who used to dress like this, bro? What Arab you know dressed like this? None. None. What Arabs you know was dressing like this? None. Except the Moorish ones. And what are they emulating in the dress? Who do they look like in their habit? Exactly. That was the one thing that was cool about the Book of Clarence, was seeing all of those melanated, all of those people dressed as Moors. Did you see that? That's what I liked. It was like watching all of these Moors. It was like watching a whole thing with Moors in it. And it showed you, right, the difference between how they had their own jurisdiction, but the Romans was there above them, and they were there trying to get rid of any Messiah that came into they they influence. And at the time they was waiting, just like now, like they waiting for which Messiah is going to come up that we either can't control or is going to destroy all of this shit for us. But look, who he dressed like? Who dressed like this? Islam. Some people have said that, you know. Some people have said that. Not that I know of, but hey, you know, as a mortal people, we just be, you know, forgetting after a while. We've been here for so long. It's like, yo, yeah, like if you can look at it from the perspective of not being what they refer to as a Christian, because again, the Christian aspect of it is what kind of gets you think, because he never said that he was a Christian. He said that he was here to do his father's work, and he was to uphold what his father put him on earth to do. If anything, he would be a Nazarene because that's where he came from. And those Nazarenes reformed as the Nestorians, like I was saying before. And eventually, because while that's happening, remember the Ethiopic Empire is still in effect. Like in the Book of Clarence, like a lot of them people in that is straight thing from Africa and all that. And so during this golden era, during this golden period, this is where the architecture from one age to the next switches up. So we go from the pyramids, the ancient Babylonian temple structure, right? All of that ended with the destruction of the temple at Jerusalem. Whether it was the Jerusalem over here, most likely, which then led to them creating the one over there in the 19th in 1914. But like I said, or I should say, however, those people that reestablished this dominion in the new period now, this is when the new Moorish architecture starts to explode all over the world. And we start to see the similar architecture of what we would call cathedral style, what they call Gothic style, New Moorish revival style. Bless you. We see all of this start popping up all over the world, all around the same time, right after the fall of this great so-called kingdom that seemed to fall almost a year, almost a couple of years to the day that they executed this person. Matter of fact, I forget what, I think it's the Book of Barnabas or one of them. In it, it says that the temple actually, the last trial that the what you call this did, the Pharisees and the Sadducees and them niggas did, the last trial that they looked over or presided over was the trial over Yeshua. And that That was the very last one. And almost a year to the day when it went down, after they shafted him, that's when the temple wound up destroying. Remember, the temple was Mystery Babylon because the temple had been filled up with all of these fake priests who were really old Babylonian Talmudic niggas. These niggas don't even believe in nothing. They are just there to get paid and get money and do sacrifices to Moloch or Ishtar or Nimrod or whoever the hell they worship in this year. And so all over the world, we see all of these powerful melanated people running shit, right? We see all of these powerful melanated people all over the world just running shit. Where did they come from? How did they do this? Where did they come from? How did they get all of this technology? Where did this science come from? How was it that they were able to make ink out of candle ash? How is it that the moldings in the Alhambra were made of walnuts and eggshells, and they still are there today? Like, how is any of this shit happening? Easy. Because it was created by people who weren't really of this planet in this particular thing. And we ushered in a time where the so-called Dark Ages was really the revival of all of humanity. We did that. Look at the feds up under this. And allegedly, this is a painting of Montezuma. How about that? The other side of this is that look at the fact that he's the same size almost as the archway. But look how big the archway is. You see that? So these so-called Christians is waiting for, so the Preterists who were really, like I said, ex-hippies who brought forth this science again, started injecting the idea that this was actually a fact and that, they were left to their own devices, which then split the Christian community down the middle. And then that gave rise to what they call the evangelical movement, which was now the old Freemasons that was against the old hippies and these niggas. And they wanted to then reassert control under the old hellfire and brimstone doctrine. But as Freemasons, they know that the Millennial Kingdom of the Moors was the kingdom of the so-called Christ on earth as it is in heaven, because they were the ones that they said destroyed everything and ruled throughout the Dark Ages. And then after the Moors fell, what happened? Granada falls in 492, and now this is now AD now, after the dominion, bless you, after the dominion, after the fall. And then that's when everybody gets split up along racial lines again, along religious lines again, right? But under the Moorish Empire, we just showed and proved how everybody was under the same vine and fig tree. And then from 1492, what happens now? Bless you. The pit open up, the mud floods come, the Reconquista come, the destruction of the world happens, right? All of the Moors get deposed, the Barbary Wars start, the Indians become a thing, right? Ain't all of this shit happen? The Moors fall in 1492. See, here we go. The Moors fell from power in Spain, which is Rome, in 1492, which is really 492, because the 1,000 years was added after the devil was let loose from the pit, right? The Spaniards, who are the Romans, find the Americas in 492 to 493. Then 700 years after the rule, then comes the Negroes and the Indians. out of the purchase of the kingdom of Granada. It all fell at the same time. And once it fell, those dirty Moors, right? This is also happened at a time when we happen to be rising through a photonic belt. And whenever shit like that happens, the magnetic frequency goes down, and then we start to become more and more earthbound. And that's what happened. They shut it down, and then from there, the forces of Rome, which was who? Britain, right? They chased out all of the black nobility Moors from there. They put all of them up under the jurisdiction of the new Pope and all of that shit. Remember, we split Rome into two. And then the Eastern Roman Empire laid havoc around the entire world. They institute the 1,000 years, right? And then usher in the fake thing, and then all evidence of the real timeline and the real history gets erased. The seed of the whole shit. Remember, they always say, remember the Battle of Shiloh. Look up the Battle of Shiloh and who fought more and who died in that. Moors. Moors protecting what was left of this beautiful golden era time on earth, and all that shit fell. Granada again was right here in the center, right? And then, like I said, all of the Moors had to get stripped and had to get turned into Christians. Because Christianity, Eanity meaning lack of substance, Christ meaning the divine nature of man, becomes now the new version, which was different than that old time religion that we as Moors had been accustomed to for the past almost 2,000 or 1,000 years, however long that millennial reign was going down. But I feel that it ended in 1492, and then once that happened, that basically destroyed what was left. And then everybody basically went through the amnesia, and then after that, it was pretty much a wrap. But this is why most of us in America was born Christian or came out of so-called black Christian homes. Because we wasn't the type of hell and brimstone Christians these niggas was talking about. We was the ones who was really here. That's why they set up the orphan trains and all of that shit after the mud flood shit. Because after the mud flood came and wiped away all of the old buildings and all of that, then they needed us to be repopulated. So they brought in the new Cabbage Patch Kids and the rest of these things, right? And they started to reorganize what America was going to be like, and then mind controlled them massively through the world expositions. That's where they brought all of the white people and the defective people in there and made them think that this is what they are now. Then they sent them back to Europe or wherever they was from, and now they were living in these places. And we just was legends now. While we now is all fighting whether we Negro, black, and color. We done fell so far, we now become slaves in our own dominion. And then all of our lands and all of that shit was confiscated. And here we are. Anybody have any questions? That's why the prophet said, don't get rid of your Bibles. That's why he said, that's why we're one of the only sects who acknowledge who or what this person actually brought and filled in the time that allegedly is taken out of all of those other books that kept them tied up in the mystery Babylon. That's why we wear the burnous and dress the way we dress and do how we do, because that's how we always did. Like I said, this is a picture of Chicago, B. Look at these malls. So yes, the stronghold of Granada. Get the book Story of the Moors in Spain. Get the book Golden Age of the Moors. Get the book Moors and the Holy Grail. Uh, yeah, get these joints, B. Because in those books they lay out kind of like what we're saying about what is almost explicitly obvious. We just not seeing it for what it is because we still, a lot of us are still caught up in sectarianism. Anybody have any other questions? Yeah, another good book is Golden Age of the Moor. I mean, Nature Knows No Color Line by Stanley Lane Poole. That's a great. No, I'm sorry. Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. And Superman to Man, like a lot of the older classics. Any uh, Sheikh Anta Diop, any book by Diop is usually on point. This is a good book too. I'm gonna show you right now. Yeah, so that's why they also don't like us being Moors because it really ties us to the time where we was not only running the world, but like we had access to the other worlds and all this shit. This book too, commonly called the Great Indian War, 1675 to 1676. The person on your right is Sake Dean Mohammed, aka King George III. I mean King George the Fifth. Yes, Egypt, Child of Africa is a good one too. Anybody else? Anybody else? So yeah, One World Tartarians is a good book on this too, because the Tartarian stuff is basically all of this in a nutshell as well. All of that Tartaria, Barbaria, it's all Moorish. It's all the Moorish Empire of that Millennial Kingdom. Yes, The Mason, the Moor, and the Alien by Richard somebody. Yeah, I went through that one. That one's cool too. Any of the Peter Nichols books, I would read those too. Those are good. I am. Those are good too. All right. Oh, and lastly, this one. Get this one right here too. This one is slept on. It's really good. It's called The Englishman, the Moor, and the Holy City. It gets into everything I'm talking about right now as well. So yes, definitely get that. Thank you guys for the support coming through. Really appreciate it. Definitely check out. Pull it up. You can go to www.aseerducateers.com, and on there is like that's the main hub site for like all of my stuff. So you'll be able to order the book through there. There's a payment link for the book there, and it has all of the links to like all of our joints. You can check that out. Great, appreciate it. Pass it along. That'd be great. Just want to show this before I close out, so put it on the video. They can see it. Everybody that joined up on the app, thank you. If you clicked on it and you were waiting for the OTP to come in and it looked like it didn't come in, check your spam and check the junk mail. because sometimes it sends it directly there for whatever reason. I'm finding out that that happens on a lot of new sites. But definitely, if you can support, I'm striving to update it every day, and it's definitely up there. So between that, that's there, and the Dark Scope 418 is up there for purchase now. Yeah, yeah, she has a whole line, a whole zodiac line for each sign, where the lotion is specifically done around for each sign. But as she said, they're also interchangeable. So you don't have to be an Aquarius to use it, but you know, to use the Aquarius or whatever. But there is one for each. So they make real good gifts for people that you know what their signs is and stuff like that. So that's kind of dope. Just because there's herbs that rule each sign. So it actually is. Yes, just because they're made from the herbs that rule each sign, as she's saying. So we definitely want to definitely check out the ADOT app. Please spread it around. Like I said, I'm working on it. Check out the thing. It's aseer.com. Definitely check out www.cordobaorganics.com. This is the album. Excuse me, this is the cover for the book. So definitely please check that out if you can. It's going to be really good. Yeah, it's all on there. If you go to www.cordobaorganics.com, the description for each product and exactly what it's made of, exactly what it does, and all of that is definitely there for you. So definitely check that out. Like I said, I'm gonna be updating the app more frequently. Again, www.aseer.com. That's up there. Please check that out. And again, man, when you go to www.aseer.com, it's gonna be right there. And like I said, I have a link. It's like a home page. So when you go on it, you just click on whichever one you want to check. It has the payment link over there for the book, and everything is there. You'll see it. Yeah, I'm about to get it on there. Hopefully within the next day and a half. So definitely please check those out. They'll be up there for you to be on. And anybody that signed up for a video chat or whatever on that, I'm gonna be getting to those probably within the next month and a half. So you'll be getting an email on it when we could do it or whatever, and so forth and so on. So yeah, guys, definitely look into research more about Granada, research more about the Moorish period specifically, because there's a lot of stuff in it that they hiding from us, and that I think was a very high vibrational kingdom that eventually fell into third density. Islam. But yeah, we gonna work it out. I'm gonna get it on there. So thanks for your patience. I really appreciate it. But definitely check the spam and the junk. Sometimes it'll send you the verification through that. But for everybody else, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. All right. Anything else, hit me up at houseofl@hotmail.com. Thank you, man. All right, y'all. Peace.